Hey everyone, and welcome to the end of year book tag. Can you believe it's already November? Because I'm sitting here thinking it should still be about August, but instead we're in November of all months, and it's confusing the hell out of me. And it's panicking me because I've got so many books I wanted to read and I still haven't read them yet, and half of them are still sitting here collecting dust, essentially. But I'm going to do the end of year book tag to try and sort of figure out that plan and just sort of share with you my plans for the rest of the year. So let's get into it. Question number one is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? Not really, because if I start a book I finish it, and if I decide to put the book down, it's either a flat out DNF or I will still finish it by the end of the month. Or if I'm like, no, this is not for me right now, but I will enjoy it at another time, I decide that I'm just going to take the bookmark out, mark it as want to read again on Goodreads, and I will start it from the beginning and go from there. So at the moment, no. There's a few series that I need to finish, but I think that's a later question, so I'll go into that then. Question number two is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? Not really. I read basically the same thing all year round, essentially. I just read sci-fi, fantasy and graphic novels, essentially. The only thing I can really say is that I read slightly more spooky books around October, but we're already past October, and I just read spooky books in October, to be honest, so I don't really have anything either that sort of transfers me into the autumn. I just carry on reading what I always do. Question number three is there a new release you're still waiting for? Extraordinary by V.E. Schwab, which is the middling book in between Vicious and Vengeful. It's a graphic novel. Really looking forward to that because I love V.E. Schwab. I am trash for the villain series, quite frankly, and I love a graphic novel. It is perfection in one go, and I've heard so many good things and I really want to read it, and I've just got to wait for it to come out at the end of the month. And then I've also got Strange Academy Volume 2 Brightside, but that was meant to come out last week, and I don't know if it's been hit by the paper shortage or what, but I don't have it yet. It's still saying awaiting publication on my Waterstone, so I've got no idea what's going on there. And quite frankly, slightly impatient, not gonna lie. Really want more Strange Academy and want more Doctor Strange written by Scotty Young, essentially, so fingers crossed it comes soon, but considering the paper shortage and all the rest of it, I'll understand if it gets delayed. Question number four is, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? Aru Shah and the City of Gold. This one is on the November TBR, so I'm hopefully going to get to this soon. I've also got Tangle Wreck as well, because this one's been sitting on my shelf for 15 years. It's finally made its way onto a TBR. It's about time I read it. I'd also like to read the next 2 Skullduggery books, which is Resurrection and Midnight. So I'd like to get to these 2 as well. I've then got a couple of comics like the Dawn of X series. I'd like to finish that. I've got like 4 volumes left. Or is it 6? I may actually have 6 volumes left. I've got a lot of volumes left, essentially, that I'd like to read. So then next year I can just start 10 at 10 of Swords and just continue on, because I'm like 2 years behind on Dawn of X, and I really want to catch up with that because the story is so interesting, and at the very least it's just left Kitty Pryde in the last one I read on a cliffhanger where she may be dead. So I really want to read that, and I also want to try out the Marvel Unlimited Infinity comics because they're on the phone. I just signed up for Marvel Unlimited, which is their comic book app, where they've got over 29,000 comics. And I am drooling at the thought, and quite frankly what they're doing as well is doing exclusives to Marvel Unlimited, where they've got like loads of comics on there as well that are completely original on there. They've got ones by Scotty Young, things like this. They've also got like Jeffrey the Land Shark, which is cool. They've got Fantastic Four, Wolverine, a whole load of others. I'm desperate to get to them, quite frankly. I am desperate, but probably not going to get to it because, as you can see from my mid-month catch-up, which should maybe be up by the time this video comes out, it's either going to be the previous video to this one or the next one, I'm not sure. Spoiler alert, if it's not up yet, my TBR is stacked and I am nowhere near through it, so probably not going to happen, but it may happen in December, you never know. Question number 5 is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favourite book of the year? I don't think so, but maybe Extraordinary, considering it's set in the villains universe. Maybe The Obelisk Gate, because the 5th season shocked me so much that this could become one of my favourite books of the year. Amari and the Night Brothers if I get to it, because so many people are raving about this, so I think I'm going to really enjoy it. Maybe Resurrection, maybe Midnight, but I have heard some mixed things about Resurrection. But apart from that, no, I don't think so. I think I found my favourite books of the year, but November and December may shock me, you never know. And question number 6 is, have you already started making plans for the next reading year? Yes. So I already know I'm going to be reading the rest of the Skullduggery series with the Dead Famous read-along next year and finishing it. I'm not looking forward to that because that was my childhood, but that is something I will deal with when I get there. I'd really like to co-host another read-along after that because I've enjoyed this so much. Especially with like the group we've got in the Dead Famous read-along. I've loved working with them so much this year, so I'd love to do like another one with them if they're amenable. I've started work on a new version of TBR Assemble, which is very, very exciting. I've had plans to improve it, so I'm working on that in between t-shirt designs and bullet journal designs and all the rest of it, and hitting word count every month, or every day, sorry. So I'm sort of working on that as well. What else have I got? I'm eyeing up a few series I want to tackle. Obviously, like I said, Ten of Swords and catching up with the X-Men, but that's been a goal for like 2 years now and I still haven't properly done it yet. To be fair, with all of the things Marvel released this year, I kind of got distracted by all of those. But I do want to try and tackle that next year. I'd like to tackle like Fables maybe next year. I'd like to read maybe The Hunger Games. I'd like to start a new Shauna Maguire series as well, like one of her long ones. I'd like to catch up with Not Even Bones. I'd like to continue on with like Legendborn, obviously. I'd like to get through Lost in the Neverwoods. I'm trying to think what else. I'd like to get through some of my Peter Pan retellings. I'd like to get through retellings in general. Yeah, there's a couple of things. There's not much. I mean, I'm saying that's not much. There's quite a lot, but there's a few things I want to get through. And I'm sort of planning on. And that is the end of the year book tag. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, tell me what your answers to this. I'd love to know. Or if you don't have that much time, leave me a clock emoji down below to let me know that you were here. I'll also leave a link down below to all of my social media if you want to check it out, including to the Comic Book Sanctum, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics, as well as to also my Etsy and my Redbubble store, which sells bookish merch and also bookish bullet journal stuff. So if you are interested in any of that, do check that out down below. And if you want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time, everyone, bye!